if you have the space for it. The 20x15-inch John Boo's maple chop and slice cutting board is exactly what you need. It's big, it's heavy, and it's sturdy. Plus, it's got the logo you've seen on cooking shows, so you can pretend that cameras are rolling when you use it. At first, we worried that it might be too large for home use, but we quickly came to appreciate that we weren't dropping food off the edge of the board and onto the counter, and we didn't have to stop cutting to move food off the board. Watch on for our full video of the highly rated cutting. Size, large and thick. At 20x15 inches and a full 1.5 inches thick, this is a large, heavy cutting board that gave us space to shred a whole cabbage without stopping and prep 2 or 3 foods and keep them separate. Because this board is so thick, it can be used for chopping. By that we don't mean chopping an onion, we mean whacking a chicken into pieces. Material, maple wood. As a close-grained hardwood, maple is ideal for food preparation. It's hard enough to be durable, but soft enough to protect your knives from damage while you're cutting. Design, pretty and functional. This cutting board features an etched grain surface, meaning the wood rails are laid out in a continuous parallel pattern, rather than standing on their ends in a checkerboard pattern, as in end grain boards. End grain is said to be better for knives, but it's usually more expensive, and anyway, we like the look of edged grain for our kitchen. Maintenance needs special care. With something as simple as a cutting board, you might think that the care instructions can be tossed aside. With this board, it's a good idea to read and follow the seasoning instructions before the first use. Boo's recommends a 2-part process, first using Boo's mystery oil, letting that sit overnight, and touching up dry spots as needed. The board we received seemed particularly thirsty, so it took multiple applications before it stopped soaking up the oil. Boo's suggests using Boo's board cream as the second step. While you can also use other products, the Boo's oils aren't prohibitively expensive, so we went with those. Durability. You'll put this one in your will. Because this board was built with professional use in mind, it should last most home cooks a lifetime if it is well cared for. That means that it should never be soaked in water, it should be reseasoned as necessary, and it should be cleaned properly. At worst, if you drop a hatchet on the board and it bounces around making gouges, you can sand the surface to remove the damage. Price, slightly more than average. When it comes to cutting boards, this one is a bit more expensive than the most common boards, particularly those made from plastic. However, when it comes to wooden boards, there are plenty of more expensive options, usually because they are more decorative and sometimes because they are larger or thicker. Considering the long life you can expect from a board like this, the price tag is actually very reasonable. Competition. Boo's is best for the price in its category. At 17x13 inches, the Sonner Los Angeles large end grain teak wood cutting board with built-in compartments is smaller than the Boo's board we reviewed, and it's also more expensive. One side of this board has a juice groove around the perimeter, while the other side has 3 deep indents, so you can slice or dice the food, then slide them into the indents and out of the way. Whether that's useful or not depends on the cook. For us, we prefer the Boo's. While our Boo's board can be used for chopping the occasional chicken into chunks, if you're into serious butchery at home, the Michigan Maple Block Maple and Grain Chopping Block is another great choice. The block is 3.5 inches thick, so it can take some serious knife abuse. But that extra height might also make it awkward for use as a standard cutting board. This is also much more expensive than the Boo's board. Overview. Many home cooks choose small boards, like bar boards or utility boards that are easy to store. But this large board has plenty of advantages, like the ability to cut a lot of food without needing to move it off the board to make room. While we would suggest this board for someone with a tiny kitchen and no storage space, we do recommend for just about everyone else. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.